assesses the landscape of clean energy investment in Africa, contrasts capital allocation models to identify the most optimal, and showcases viable solutions that have worked and can unlock a cascade effect to transform investment on the continent. The challenges identified in the report are surely going to resonate with the reality that practitioners and local financiers face on a daily basis. I'm sure many of you are in the room. From the cost of acquiring capital, to the scarcity of equity in our markets, to the question of who pays for grid flexibility and ancillary infrastructure services. And no doubt, the solutions in this report will resonate as well. Articulation of the investment challenges and solutions at this high a level of institutionality is the critical validation needed to stir calls to action at the highest levels of power and influence. So today, let's learn about what this new report tells us and how we can urgently act on it. Let's begin. To begin our proceedings, allow me to invite two esteemed speakers to the podium. First, to illustrate direct applications of this jointly authored report, I would like to invite Dr. Fatih Birol, Executive Director of the International Energy Agency.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Very good morning, dear colleagues. It's a great pleasure to be here with you today. We have so many meetings in Nairobi, all around Africa, clean energy, and perhaps we are now going to discuss this finance issue. But we came for this great cooperation, and I was very happy to meet President in Paris at our headquarters, and I hope this work can be a first one for a good friendship and cooperation for years to come, because I see many complementaries between these two institutions.
Is a data house. We are solve all the energy and climate data at our fingertips. If you ask me, what is the amount of coal used in China for iron steel production, yesterday I can tell you in half an hour. If you ask me how much solar PV is installed in the United States, I can tell you. We see a lot of injustices. And one of them is the following. Africa today accounts about 20% of global population and attracts 3% of energy investments. Total energy investment, and clean energy is even less than that. So this is a major, major problem for Africa and for the rest of the world, for economy, for social dimension, for climate, and others. So it is the reason, in my view, one of the fault lines of the sustainable development, as we call it, we try to look at this issue. Now, energy is vital. There is a huge need for more energy, for a better life, a stronger economy to fulfill in the context of Africa. This development happening. Why the money is not coming here? Why there are these big injustices? %60% of the solar radiation is in African continent. 60%. It's a huge, huge, huge thing. Yet, dear colleagues, when you look at the numbers, as we do, the amount of solar electricity generated in entire sub-Saharan Africa is half of it generated from solar in Netherlands. Think about the map of the world, the size of sub-Saharan Africa and the size of Netherlands, 60% solar radiation here, and how much how sunny is Netherlands. It is really, really a major issue. Another one, in our view, is I was saying the president. A few minutes ago, only a few days ago, we made another report on the clean cooking and showed that it is so easy, in fact, to solve this. I will look at these two issues. What needs to be done, how it can be solved, and the report that my colleagues put together, how the money can flow here. My colleague, Emma Gordon, who is the lead author of this study, will say in a few minutes. But the barriers are the following. The first is the cost of capital. As we all know, cost of capital of erecting a windmill here is about 4 to 5 times higher than, let's say, in Europe, because of the country risk, because of the project risk, and there is a need for the countries to address the project risk and also provide right and accurate data. As we show in our study, sometimes there are unfair assumptions about the risk levels of African projects. With the right information, these unfair assumptions might be addressed. The second one we hope to see is the financing universal access. So our moderator also mentioned, we have calculated how much this issue that we are talking all the time, the world, in sub-Saharan Africa, to provide access to clean electricity, and at the same time to address clean cooking, both of them together. How much would it cost? It costs $25 billion. Unlock a significant amount